Hello everyone, Megatronic here, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at a Titan class transformer, Age of the Primes Tripticon. Obviously we are on a different table in front of my figures because, well, he's not going to fit over there. So yeah, before we get into the figure himself, if I can, oh Jesus, move him out of the way. I do want to go over the packaging because this is how you do a Generation Selects box. Genuinely, I mean, it just looks cool. There's the side, here's the back with his bio and all that good stuff. So I love the box. I love how they did that. Bringing him back in. Yeah, I really do enjoy the box. So yeah, now let's get into the figure himself. Now, I never owned the original Titans Return Tripticon, so this is my first impression of ever owning this Titan class figure. And I don't really dip my toes in Titan class figures, but I thought, hey, why not? Tripticon. I've always liked Tripticon, and I've never owned a single figure of a Tripticon. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best to film this because it's quite a large figure here. So yeah. First off, we're gonna start with the things that he comes with, and he comes with a man and a smaller man, full tilt, and he is a headmaster. I believe it was Necron guy. He has a nice painted pink gun with some silver. There's the gun, and his wheels are painted in silver. He's molded in this like pinkish. This is like a magenta, I think, right? Colors, things, stuff. Transform this guy, fairly simple here. You want to come to the front, untab these pieces here, like so. Fold out the panel legs, and just swing forward the legs. Fold back the butt flap, and it's very tight. Move these panels back inwards for the legs. Untab the arms here at the shoulder. Move this backpack back. And his headmaster is actually in the cockpit. Move that all back. Flip out the hinge. Other hand. Headmaster goes on. And he does have a black head and a painted face. That's cool. Then, you know. Boop. And here is his rifle. And here we have full tilt in his robot mode. I'm gonna go over him real quick before we get into Tripticon. I don't think I have that right. There we go. Articulation. It's okay. Head's on a ball joint. Get a wiggle waggle. Look up that much. Not that much down. Shoulders on a ball joint. Do full 360. Out that far, it's like the trigger happy shoulders, and down that far. Bicep swivel. Rather loose. 90 at the elbow. Nothing at the waist. Feet, you can break his legs, kind of, and you can do the big boot. Go back all the way. Full splits, and then some. Thigh rotation. Knee is 90, and there's literally no feet on this man. This guy's okay. He's quite loose. Not loosey-goosey, but loose enough to where this guy's going to be in Vehicle on Tripicon's chest for, you know, the time being that I own this figure. It's okay. Do wish there was some remolding, like gave him wrist tilts and maybe actual feet. Like I said, he is quite loose and is lacking a lot of paint. Plastic doesn't feel 100% the greatest. Kind of feels like the Combiner Works Constructicons, maybe just a tad bit sturdier, but yeah. Here he is with Studio Series Scrapper, so a little bit taller than Scrapper. All right, now let's get on to Tripticon. I'm gonna move this flap section back down. Here's your big boy. Now, he does have a gimmick. Move these towers here. To get this up, you can put a Titan Master here, or you can just take your thumb and his horn gun thing will just shoot open, which, you know, nose. He does have these giant shoulder cannon things. They can descend, extend. You do have to have these up to move his big old noggin and to transform him. So, yeah. Hello, it is I, Past Kyle, with the flash on the camera, no camera stand. What? Anywho, there's a gimmick on this guy that completely just, you know, passed my mind. He can eat little headmasters, so here's Thundercrackers. No. Full Tilt's Headmaster. No. Twin Twist Headmaster. No. And finally, Highbrow's Headmaster. Gnome. TRYPTICON. Oh. Anywho, and to get them back, you just open up the chest. And boom, you got your little Titan Master buddies. I think this is a really fun gimmick, and I don't know how I don't understand. So, also this issue I didn't really cover either. I'm editing this video. So would this be future me or past me? Because I'm going to see this on YouTube and it'll be past me. But it's future me, but it's present me now. Or you're seeing future me from when you... I don't know. Well, let's not give myself another existential crisis. So, this doesn't stay closed. I mean, it does, but if you get to mess with it, it doesn't. It holds okay if you don't mess with it. But it's just, you know... Oh... There went full tilt, but I guess, you know, it stays closed, but if you get to mess with it, it opens. And this arm's, like, kind of loose. So, yeah, back to your regularly scheduled Megatronic. On articulation, he has a neck swivel. Mouth can open and close. There is a neck on some defense. Shoulders. Again, I do apologize if the ring camera kind of gets in the frame here. Full 360 here at the arm, like so. You get about 90 outwards before this panel just untabs. This panel does not like to stay on either of my arms. On my copy, rather loose. I am disappointed there's no bicep rotation on a Titan class. Like, look how much space there is on this. You could have easily gotten a, you know, it's all hollow. Bicep rotation would have came a long way, whatever. You got an elbow, wrist hinge, no rotation once again. And fingers can open and close on hinges as well. So there's that. If you want to use this as articulation, sure. I'm gonna come in close, sorry. I hit this thing with the chair. Legs, oh Jesus. Big, nice, clicky ratchets here. You get about 2 D10s out, and you can, like, that. Knee, that much backward, that much forward. Feet, get a couple clicks out, then in, and the tail is also on a hinge due to transformation, so you can move this all the way back and all the way forward if you want. Stuff and things and stuff. I do want to show this off at like an angle. I'll take this off the tripod. His tail sticks out like this. This is my hand. Here's a Blockies figure. I mean, a bit far. But yeah, pretty big. Pretty big figure here. There's Megatron. Yeah. And here he is with Tidal Wave. I mean, their heads are about up to the same height, really. If you have TRYPTICON looking up like a bit. I mean, their horns basically are the same height. Of course, TRYPTICON's cannons gets him a little bit taller. But yeah, they feel, honestly, TRYPTICON may be a bit heavier, but Tidal Wave does have some density to them to where, honestly, if you were to tell me these were the same weight, I'd believe you. Which Titan class do I prefer? I don't know. I like Tidal Wave, and I also like TRYPTICON. But I like Tidal Wave. I don't know. Hard to pick between the two. I'm not comparing him to Omega Supreme. Sorry, Omega's on my highest shelf all the way up there. I'm not getting him down for this. Okay. And here we have him in his base mode, and it's massive. This is bigger than my table. Which this is a smaller, like, bedside table, really, but still, I've never owned this in hand, so when I got him to this mode, he really does splay out, especially with these legs here. I didn't think they would splay out as much. I'm not complaining. I really not. I just don't have the space for it in this small-ass apartment. But here's a couple size comparisons. You got some blocky figures, Studio Series 86 Scrapper. You have Brunt in his vehicle mode. You have Full Tilt's Headmaster. And you have 2 Micro Masters / Weapon Masters from the Siege line. Full Tilt in his robot mode without the Headmaster as well, too. Now, I will say one nitpick. Pretty big nitpick. Right here, I don't know if you can make it out with how far away that is a Decepticon-sized insignia with no Decepticon logo. Would it really have killed them to put a Decepticon insignia just right there? Come on, we'll be honest, I do wish they used the purple from Brunt instead of this weird pinkish magenta. Not horrible, just not that big of a fan, if I'm being honest. Now, he does have a play feature here, and it involves the front of the base mode, if I can get this around. So, yeah. There's plastic on the floor. That's cool. This can open up. If I can get it. Oh god. Everything's going everywhere. This can open up and be like a trunk, which is cool, and these kind of like resemble eyes. I think there's some like hidden mode or something. I'm not gonna do it. I don't really care that much. So yes. So, oh. So this is supposed to be a ramp. I knew that. This was intended to do that. I knew that the entire time. I swear I knew this. I swear. So, yeah, this mode is really impressive, if I'm being honest. It is quite large, comically large even. It's very impressive though. What I do wish was some more paint. We're gonna go in close. We're doing a flying cam. I just hit the ring light. Don't worry about what I'm doing. My ring light's breaking. But I mean, giant ass ramp. My only complaint here was I just wish there was some more paint. I wish maybe some of this was painted differently. You have really nice molded in roads, detailing to boot. Some more detailing over here as well. It all looks very nice. Just wish there's a bit more look at paint. And that's where I wish that Decepticon symbol was, because that's clearly a Decepticon symbol inspired shape. But yeah, and this ramp is no joke either. I want to say it's about 2 feet, maybe a foot, about a foot from here, maybe. In length it's about 2-3 feet. Very large. I'm not going to do any more modes. There's a flying mode, the Nemesis mode, where the stuff gets folded up more, but it's shit. Sorry, but this is really hard to go over because there's a lot of figure here, and with Tidal Wave it was easy because, you know, he splits apart. This guy, no, same with Omega, and I never did a review on Omega. But yeah, as a complete package, do I think this is worth $200? Yeah, I mean, with Tidal Wave, I was kind of feeling iffy, you know. Maybe some buyer's remorse, just a teeny bit, because things didn't really tab in well on him. With this guy, it's kind of more QC joint tolerance, and we're going to get into that real quick. I think Full Tilt is a bit too loose. Not horribly loose to where I just want to take a hammer to the figure. No, I just think tolerances could have been, you know, a little bit better. Just a wincy bit better. He's not horrible, it's just when I pick him up, I'm like, oh, okay, Titan's Return figure, yep. So that sums him up. TRYPTICON here is a mixed bag for some quality control. His chest opens up a little bit too much, and it is just a tiny bit irritating. The panels where the arms tab in also untab very quickly, and that, I mean, they should tab in just a bit more in my opinion, which it's not horrible, you know. There's no bicep joint for the shoulders, which is eh. Like I said, I wish there was a bicep swivel. I think that's really the only articulation I could see they could put into this. I know it's just a repaint, but I do wish it was a bit of a remold. I wish there was a bit more 5mm ports on him for brunt, but obviously, like I said, it's a repaint and a remold, so yeah. Now, this guy isn't horrible considering that he is gone quite expensive online, at least the original Pants Return version. Now, the only piece of molding, or I guess painting, I don't quite like is how light they went with the magenta. Yes, it's cartoon accurate. I think it's a bit too much, and I hope they reissue or repaint Brunt to be more in line with that color scheme, because, you know, I prefer this purple, but for the sake of my OCD, so yeah, I think this guy's fun. If you want a Trypticon and you don't have the original Titans Return, I say go out and get this. Give this guy a whirl. If you have the original Titans Return and you know you have no issues with that, stick with it. I just prefer this color scheme other than, like I said, the pinkish purple. But yeah, this guy's a really fun figure to mess around with and play with. I say get him before the tariffs go up. You can thank Trump for that. Thank the shooter for missing. Did I say it? Who said that? Anywho, that's pretty much it. I really do like this figure. You guys should go get him while you still can, while he's still only $200. I got this off of Big Bad Toy Store. I wish this was sponsored, because $200 is a lot of money. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you all for watching. Bye. Hamburger.